there was this reporter, not a reporter, but someone who was on First Take. Uh, I guess is what it was. The ESPN show First Take. I think her name was Amber Wilson, and this this kind of this kind of speaks to the way that I feel about how Eagles fans react to what certain people say online. Like I remember back in the day when Chris Sims was saying that Jalen Hurts wasn't even a 40 best quarterback in the NFL, and he wasn't better than certain guys who hadn't even played in the NFL, hadn't even played in a while either. And I remember like getting upset about that, like not even really like caring that much about Jalen Hurts, but also being like, dude, like use your brain. Like that doesn't even make any sense. And I think she's okay. So like, if I can read the quote right here that they're putting up there, I made this comment where I said I didn't know that Kim Wexler worked for ESPN because she does look like Kim Wexler. And I'm not saying that this person is like acting in bad faith or anything like that. She said that the Cowboys are simply better than the Eagles. We aren't talking 2022, we're talking 2023. We are moving forward. One team has lost 7 starters, and that is in Dallas. In 2023, the Cowboys are just stacked and have an easier schedule. So, like, you can look at that and you could be like, kind of pick that apart, say that that's absolute BS. You know, I think what Colin Cowherd said that Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown aren't a top 10 quarterback to receiving tandem. And I just think this. Why are we listening to these people? Like, I stopped watching ESPN a long time ago. I haven't watched ESPN besides like a Monday Night Football game in years. And the reason why is because it's junk. Now, like, a lot of people come out and they're like, oh, you know, ESPN is bad because of woke politics, and ESPN has gone too woke, and Disney has gone too woke. No. ESPN has been terrible for years because ESPN used to be a hard journalism, highlights, TV show, like SportsCenter. That's what it used to be. It used to have like a 1 or 2 hot take shows around the horn and Pardon the Interruption. And then they had Cold Pizza, which eventually became First Take. And then they had like NFL Live, NBA, MLB shows, a hockey show, 30 for 30, Outside the Lines, and highlights. It just had shows that people wanted to watch, and then but it didn't have it made it so that it wasn't like too repetitive to the point where like you could listen to that Around the Horn show with the Tony Reale as the host, and you can listen to 4 different reporters talk about important subjects in sports. And then you could listen to Tony Kornheiser and Wilbon talk about the same topics in a different way because these two are old school guys. Now it's just like it's all hot take shows, very few highlights, only like a few minutes of highlights. They got rid of all the shows that made them good and replaced them with hot take shows. And the problem with that is the fact that a lot of these people with these, like, you're entitled to your opinion, but I think that many of these people are just charlatans. And sports TV especially has become all about clicks and all about headlines and all about he said, she said drama. It's also why I don't watch the FS1 either. It's because it's the same thing. FS1 has completely copied the whole marketing idea for ESPN. Okay? I look at a person who says something like that, and I don't I don't 100% disagree with that. I don't really see an issue much with what she said. You can nitpick any incorrect information, but I don't really think this is worth discussing in any way, shape, or form. She thinks the Dallas Cowboys are better than the Eagles. So what? Okay? The Eagles, over the last, 10 or so years, haven't matched up well against the Dallas Cowboys. The last time the Eagles swept the Cowboys was 2011. The last time the Eagles really dominated the Cowboys in a game, in the point where it was total domination, was 2017 when they won the Super Bowl. The Eagles have been swept 3 times since then. The Dallas Cowboys play really well against the Eagles. This isn't anything that you can really argue. It's 100% the truth. If there's one team in the NFC East that the Eagles constantly struggle against, it's the Cowboys. Right? Dak Prescott plays some of his best games against the Eagles. The last game that he played against the Eagles, he played really well outside of one interception. His first pass was an interception. That was it. The Eagles, in my opinion, really need to prove more than the Cowboys need to prove, because the Eagles lost the Super Bowl. And they have more expectations to get themselves to the Super Bowl. Now, that doesn't mean that the Cowboys are the best team in the NFC. That doesn't mean they're the best team in the NFC East. I think that over time, over the last 4 or 5 years, they've definitely been more consistent than the Eagles in terms of going to the playoffs, which both teams have been very consistent in going to the playoffs. They've been very consistent winning NFC East games, and they've been very consistent at winning the division, right? Cowboys, since 2016, have won the division 3 times, and the Eagles, I think they've won the division 3 or 4 times as well. So I feel like these teams are relatively evenly matched. The only difference is now the Commanders look like they're going to be really good. The Giants look like they're going to be very good. I'm watching this Giants-Panthers game. Dude, either the Giants are going to be really good or the Panthers are one of the worst teams in the league. I'm hoping that it's the second one, because the Giants, they look good as their starters and they look good with their depth players. So I'm really looking at the NFC East as being a much more level playing field than it's been over the last 10 years, where the NFC East has been one of the worst divisions in the NFL because they had terrible coaching and they didn't have good quarterback play. Now they got both on all 4 teams. It's going to be difficult. I don't really care if people call Jalen Hurts a running back. Dude, do you think I really care about that stuff? Dude, okay, Jalen Hurts is a running back. Great. Yeah, because he runs the ball all the time. Too bad he played better than most quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't care about that. That stuff's funny when people say that stuff. And I wish that Eagles fans would react to that a lot less. I wish that Eagles fans would just block people who said... The new thing was during the game, Marcus Mariota threw a really bad interception to... intended for Calcaterra or Jack Stoll. I forget which tight end it was. And people were like, oh, looks like Jalen Hurts threw an interception to intended for Dallas Goedert. Oh, that's what he's going to do during the season. I thought that was funny. Dude, I thought that was funny because it's obvious these people are trolling the Philadelphia Eagles and getting people to react to their content. That's it, dude. That's all it is. And the biggest problem with Eagles fans is they care too much. Dude, I wish I could say that I cared about something like that, but it's just so overspoken and so overstated, okay? These people are saying these things because they know Eagles fans are going to react. It's a story about the Philadelphia Eagles not being as good as the Dallas Cowboys, and they know that this stuff is going to work again with Philadelphia Eagles fans in Dallas. They're going to be like arguing in comment sections about this stuff. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, dude, like, you're better off just blocking these people anyway, right? Just being like, ha ha ha, block them. They do it because they know that it irks you. They do it because they know that you're going to respond. They do it because they know that it creates content for them. I'm not telling Eagles fans, hey, don't do your thing. Don't be you. If you don't respond to that stuff. I'm just telling you, you responding to that is not going to make these people stop. Okay? I would rather go ahead and look to see what the players are doing on the field, worry about my own team. I'm not even someone who's going out there saying that Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback ever, because I don't know that. How many times have I seen an Eagles quarterback play really well, not saying that they're the same as Jalen Hurts, and then later down the line they just tail off. Okay? Let Jalen Hurts do his speaking on the field. We don't need to be defending him on social media. We don't need to be like Miami Dolphins fans. Don't crucify me, Miami Dolphins fans. Jeez. I don't want a TuneIn to come after me and my family. Anyway, just leave these people alone. Leave them to their own devices. We don't need to be defending Jalen Hurts to the death. I'm not going to do that personally because I was the one who was doing the same thing with Carson Wentz, and we all know how that turned out. Jalen Hurts had a really good season. If they want to call him a running back, oh my God, stab me in the back and give me a wedgie. I don't care. It's so over. It's so lazy, but it's so lazy that it's funny. It's whatever, man. If they want to do that stuff, if they want to say that stuff, if they want to say, oh, Jalen Hurts is only good because he had all these players around him and his team was stacked. Cool. Either most of those guys are coming back and we just retooled the team in the draft.